Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current transfer rumours and gossip, as we always do on this current channel, and there's lots to negotiate on this video today, but I'm just going to give you a bit more additional information in regards to Dani Olmo, who of course who plays for Dynamo Zagreb. More additional information is updated about him. So I have been updating you about Dani Olmo at least in the last couple of days, because there has been reports circulating around the media in the last couple of days saying that reportedly Manchester United are interested in Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo has been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Quite a few teams have expressed their interest in the player, reflecting on his impressive performances, throughout the European Championship. And I think Dani Olmo actually is aware of the speculation and all that, but I do believe his preference is either to make a move to the Premier League or make a move to the Bundesliga, because I think actually Dani Olmo came out yesterday and he said he's attracted to the Premier League, and I think Dani Olmo's agent has actually indicated out that Manchester United of course are interested in signing him. So he has been subject to a lot of transfer speculation. Obviously Manchester United are seeing him as an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. So reports do mention saying that Manchester United have reportedly put around a £35 million bid in for him. Like I did say, he said he's attracted to the Premier League, so he may be keen on making a move to the Premier League. He has got 2 years left on his contract with Dynamo Zagreb. He has been at Dynamo Zagreb, since 2014. That's when he joined, and he did join at the age of 16, and now of course he's 21 years of age, so he has still got a hell of a lot of development in him. He can play as an attacking midfielder. He can also play as a winner, so he can play on each flank. So his versatility is very, very good. But like I said, he's only 21 years of age and all that. So essentially he's been at the Dynamo Zagreb, like I said, since 2014. So he has been there now a number of years. I think in all competitions for Dynamo Zagreb, I think he's scored 26 goals in 102 games, and I think he's created around 21 assists. So his stats are very, very impressive. But I think the teams that have been interested in this player, I think Chelsea have been interested, Liverpool have been interested, I think Borussia Dortmund have been interested, Bayern Munich have been interested, Inter Milan have been interested, and I think Barcelona have also been interested. I mean, he actually began his career at Barcelona, did Dani Olmo. I think he served around 7 years in their youth academy. I don't think he ever broke into their first team squad, but he did serve 7 years, of course, in their youth academy. So do you believe that Dani Olmo, would be the right solution for Manchester United? So it has been circulating around the media in the last couple of days saying that Manchester United, of course, are interested in signing. Maybe £35 million maybe isn't enough. This may be too insufficient for Dynamo Zagreb, to currently offload him. But yeah, Manchester United have stepped their interest up in the last couple of days. But so many teams have inquired about his services and all that. But we do know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to bring at least 3 new additions to the squad now. Obviously, we've already got 2 players on the board so far this summer. Obviously, we've got Daniel James for £18 million, and obviously, we've got Anwan Bissaka in a deal worth around £50 million. And obviously, if you want to include the add-ons, that does take Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's net spend up to around £68 million this summer. But obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to want to build on this, and like I said, he's going to want to bring at least 3 more new additions to the squad. But now I do believe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priorities, will be to recommend a central defender to come in, and also, want to add reinforcements in that midfield. But for the entirety of this window so far, we have been mainly focusing on, the incomings and all that. But I think the club have got to orchestrate on selling players, to help us generate funds and rebuild the squad. Because don't forget, allegedly, we've only been given £100 million to spend, and obviously £100 million is nowhere near enough, for suggested deficiencies in the squad, and obviously, isn't enough for us, to bring the number of players that we do want in. I did say to you guys yesterday, didn't I? And he also said on Monday, I want Manchester United, to get 2 signings completed this week. And I think from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's perspective, he basically expects Manchester United to get 1 more signing on the board, before we do go on pre-season tour in Australia and all that. And obviously Solskjaer did say, he's looking to bring at least 5 new additions to the squad. I thought we'd been initially given £200 million, but it turns out that we've only been given £100 million, and it has provided the reason why we've only been given £100 million, because obviously, we're not in a Champions League football for next season. But it's very, very essential that we do get our number 1 targets this summer, because we need to see vast improvements going on to this season, because last season, was very, very disappointing. We finished 6th, we didn't win many silverware, and we didn't spend out in January, we didn't get as number 1 targets last summer and all that. So we need to see vast improvements going on to this season. It is going to be hard for us to attract players to the elite level, because we're not in Champions League football for next season, and it's also going to be hard for us, to convince our imperative players to remain at the football club, because like I said, we're not in Champions League football. 4 for next season, we are competing in the Europa League next season. But I do believe anyway, our expectations going on to this season, probably, will be to finish in the top 4. But I do believe our aspirations in the next couple of seasons, will definitely be that top 4. I don't think we'll challenge for a league next season. I don't think we'll win the league next season, because I think we're at least a couple of years off from winning the league or challenging for the league. Because at the moment, City is strides ahead of us. Obviously, we do know Liverpool and that strides ahead of us. It's very imperative that we catch up with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool and all that. So that's very, very essential indeed. But as you all know, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, believes he's following a policy, that proved successful under Alex Ferguson, and obviously, he wants to obviously wants to develop a squad of young, hungry, homegrown talent. So obviously, he's worked out his transfer strategy, and he wants to recommend a number of young players to come in. I do believe we are moving away from the policy though of signing them well-established players. There has been quite a few British players on our current agenda, because obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talent to Manchester United this summer. So there is obviously still lots to address in the squad. Like I said, we've got 2 signs on the board so far. They are our first 2 signings under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. But like I was saying about Dani Olmo, do you think he would be the right solution for Manchester United? Like I said, you can play as an attacking midfielder. You can also put him on each flank as well. So he is very, very versatile. And don't forget, Manchester United need a current winner. I did say I was sceptical about Manchester United being in the right winner. There's been quite a few winners on our agenda, but at this moment, at this present time, I'm sceptical of Manchester United, of course, being in the right winner. But like I said, we've done it. Dani Olmo, so many teams have expressed their interest in the current player, but Manchester United have been in for him in the last couple of days, and now reportedly we've submitted around £35 million bid. He did say he wants to make the move to the Premier League or the Bundesliga, and he has blatantly made this clear. That would be his preference, he said. And I've been updating you on a regular basis in regards to Bruno Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon. I think it's looking very imminent. He could be our 3rd signing this summer. I don't think it will be made official sometime this week. I think we'll probably get the deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes next week and all that, because I think Solskjaer is hopeful that we can get a deal secured for Sean Longstaff sometime this week. But Bruno Fernandes, there was reportedly breakthrough in negotiations yesterday. Reportedly, he did reportedly say that Bruno Fernandes' agent had travelled to England, to thrash out a deal for his client. And now it does say an agreement has been made. I don't think yet a fee has been agreed, but I do believe the personal terms have been agreed with Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes and all that. I think Manchester United now have reached an agreement with Sporting Lisbon, and he did allegedly say, we have agreed £100,000 a week contract with Bruno Fernandes. I do expect Manchester United to hold more talks with Sporting Lisbon and all that, and Bruno Fernandes' representatives, of course, over coming to an agreement on a fee, because I don't think yet a fee has come to an agreement. So at the moment, the fee is actually, the stumbling block in all of this, because Sporting Lisbon have said they want in the region of around £55 million. At the moment, of what I know, Manchester United are not willing to pay that. I think, we're willing to offer him around £31 million. But obviously, we do know this is too insufficient for Sporting Lisbon, because they said, they want around £55 million. But like I said, it's very, very imperative, that we do get the deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes. But yeah, I think Manchester United are set to hold more further talks. But he did say on Monday that Manchester United had held talks with Bruno Fernandes' representatives, and now everything has been agreed, apparently, except the fee. So the fee is a stumbling block at the moment. But I do believe anyway, we should just pay what Sporting has been currently demanding, because I think he's worth that, Bruno Fernandes. Look what we did last summer. We paid £50 million for Fred, and I think it was £50 million we paid for Fred, and you can't put Fred in Bruno Fernandes' calibre or level, and Fred hasn't got a fantastic pedigree. He was a fundamental player at Shakhtar Donetsk, but since he's come to Manchester United, he hasn't really replicated this form. He did good towards the back end of last season, did Fred, but he hasn't really replicated. He hasn't, what he did at Shakhtar Donetsk, he hasn't really replicated this at Manchester United. So I don't know if Fred is long-term solution. And Fred's obviously one of our most expensive signs. So I should believe, we should just pay, what Sporting Lisbon are currently demanding and all that. But I'm very, very confident, we can get the deal over the line for him. Obviously, a lot of reports came out last week, saying that, we'd held negotiation with Bruno Fernandes' agent. So talks have been ongoing, between Man United and Bruno Fernandes' representatives for several weeks now, and all that, over getting a deal finalised. But yeah, we do know the likes of Liverpool and Tottenham have obviously, been in for him, but according to recent reports, Liverpool and Tottenham have now withdrawn their interest in Bruno Fernandes. They're no longer in for him. He did report out a couple of weeks ago saying that Liverpool had put a bid in for Bruno Fernandes of around €45 million. Obviously, that equates to around £40 million sterling. Obviously, reflecting back about 6 or 7 weeks ago, it was looking likely Manchester City were going to get a deal concluded for Bruno Fernandes, but obviously it confirmed City had withdrawn their interest. Liverpool have been in negotiation with Bruno Fernandes' agent. Obviously, they were talking with his agent in London and all that, but I think now Liverpool, Tottenham have also had negotiations with his agent, and Manchester City, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man City have all withdrawn their interest. I do believe it's Manchester United now only in the running, to currently sign Bruno Fernandes. But I think Bruno Fernandes is keen on making a move to Old Trafford. Him coming to the Premier League is going to rejuvenate his career, take his footballing career to the next level. And I do believe Bruno Fernandes has got all the ingredients required, to become a huge success at Manchester United without a shadow of a doubt. Bruno Fernandes, he's primarily an attacking midfielder. He's only 24 years of age. I don't think Bruno Fernandes' move to Manchester United is dependent on what happens with Paul Pogba, because even if Paul Pogba does stay, which is obviously isn't going to happen, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said he still wants to bring he wants to add 2 new additions in that midfield, because it's very essential that we get a replacement for under Herrera. But yeah, like I said, Bruno Fernandes served 2 years with Sporting Lisbon. He scored 31 goals in all competitions last season. Obviously, when he was younger, he spent the majority of his career in Italy, with Sampdoria, Modenese, Novia, and all that. So yeah, I really, really like him a lot. And I do believe him coming to Manchester United will rejuvenate the team. He'll bring us them goals that we need in that midfield. So if we can get this deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes, I think this will be good business for Manchester United and Ed Woodward. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has actually instructed Ed Woodward last week, I think, to speed up a deal to sign Bruno Fernandes. But Solskjaer did say a couple of months back, I think at the end, just after the end of the season, I think he did say he wanted the majority of our transfer business completed by the beginning of next month. But obviously, that's not hasn't happened now. But yeah, I wanted to bring at least 3 more new additions to the squad, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said he wants to bring at least 5 new additions to the squad, like I said. And Bruno Fernandes still got 4 years left on his contract with Sporting Lisbon, so he is still under contract with them until 2023. But for me, he's been one of our main priority targets. He will be a good, adequate replacement for Paul Pogba. So hopefully we can get the deal concluded for Bruno Fernandes. The good thing is as well, if Bruno Fernandes does come in, he will, he will be assured, to get straight into the first team. It may be different sort of scenario with Sean Longstaff. Maybe with Sean Longstaff he may not get straight into the first team with Manchester United, and of course that is the difference. So yeah, very, very hopeful we can get this deal over the line for Bruno Fernandes. Obviously, as I've been updating you about Sean Longstaff, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has instructed Manchester United to get a deal completed for Sean Longstaff this week sometime. So Solskjaer wants Sean Longstaff on the board sometime this week. He is available for a reasonable figure, and quite a few people said, look, we should be sensible of our recruitment this summer. But reportedly, Newcastle do want in the region of around £20 million plus add-ons. So I think initially Newcastle value Sean Longstaff at around £25 or £30 million. He did say we are prepared to put our first formal offering for Sean Longstaff, and he did say we was willing to offer around £15 million, including add-ons. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has instructed Manchester United, just to meet what Newcastle, of course, are demanding and all that. So hopefully we can get this deal over the line for Sean Longstaff. I think we have now been given a boost. We have now been given a boost in our pursuit of Sean Longstaff. Following the departure of Rafa Benitez, I think Manchester United have been in negotiations with Newcastle over getting a deal concluded. But I think Manchester United probably set to hold more extensive talks with Newcastle over coming to an agreement on a fee. So looking at it, Sean Longstaff is a cheaper solution than Bruno Fernandes. But obviously we do know that Bruno Fernandes is more experienced than Sean Longstaff. Obviously Sean Longstaff's gained a bit of experience, got a bit of experience in him. Obviously last season was his first season in the senior squad with Newcastle. He made his debut in December of last year, and I think last season he flourished under Rafa Benitez's guidance. I think he played around 11 games last season for Newcastle under Rafa Benitez, and he did put some good performances in. He recently he signed a contract not too long ago. He's under contract with Newcastle until 2022. But Sean Longstaff, of course, I still believe he's regaining full fitness because obviously he sustained a knee ligament injury, back in March, and obviously, this ruled him out for the last couple of months of last season, due to his knee ligament injury. He had sustained and all that. So I do believe he's still regaining full fitness. Is Sean Longstaff, but he is only 21 years of age. Plus, he's British, and like I said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to recruit British talent to Manchester United this summer. So hopefully, we can get a deal concluded for Sean Longstaff sometime this week. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants the transfer of Sean Longstaff to Manchester United completed by the end of this week. So I'm very, very hopeful, that's currently going to happen. But like I said, there's been quite a lot of midfielders on our current agenda. Like I said to you earlier on about Dani Olmo, Sean Longstaff, Bruno Fernandes. Vast majority of Manchester United fans, would like to see James Maddison, coming here from Leicester. And I like James Maddison a lot. Can create chances, can score goals, can provide. Demonstrated that in his first season in the Premier League last season with Leicester. Played 36 games for Leicester last season in the Premier League. Was involved in 14 goals. Also created more chances than any other player in the Premier League, last season. Leicester did get him last summer from Norwich for around £20 million. Had a good couple of seasons in the Championship with Norwich. Actually began his career with Coventry, so he was a product. He was a product of Coventry's academy and all that. Quite a few teams have been tracking James Maddison, since he was a teenager at Coventry. I think he also had a loan spell in Scotland, with Aberdeen. But I like James Maddison a lot. And he did allegedly say he's interested in making a move to Manchester United and all that. He did say he had reservations about coming to Manchester United because obviously we're not in a Champions League football for next season. But he did allegedly say he wanted to meet up with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And reports came out about this 3 or 4 weeks ago saying that we emerged him as a priority target. And he did say if Leicester were willing to offload him, they would want in the region of around £60 million and all that. This is what it basically currently said, and he's still got 4 years remaining on his contract with Leicester. He's primarily an attacking midfielder, only had 22 years of age, is James Maddison. So I think again, he would be a good adequate replacement for Paul Pogba and all that sort. Yeah, I do really like him. But like I said, we need to focus on selling players because we need to generate funds, to help rebuild the squad. I expect probably around 5 or 6 players maybe to leave Manchester United this summer. I expect Valencia has already left the club. Should I say he served 10 years with Man United. Obviously Herrera's left on a free transfer, so we're going to get a replacement for him. Darwin and Rojo still at the football club, but I do presume that they're going to be leaving, and I think we can generate around 25 or 30 million pounds for their departures. With Pogba and Lukaku, they're both that duo have been relentlessly linked to a move for Manchester United. Obviously Pogba and Lukaku are our two most expensive signings, and obviously if we can sell Pogba and Lukaku, I think it will help us with our rebuilding process for sure, and it'll help us with our transition, because I think we can generate around £200 million for the departures of Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku. But we have put huge transfer fees on Paul Pogba and Romelu Lukaku. Don't currently forget. But I've been updating you. I updated you earlier on, didn't I, with in regards to Romelu Lukaku and all that. Now, potentially Lukaku's agent has currently give us an update, and Lukaku's agent, Federico Pastorello, or however you currently pronounce his name, he's basically said that Inter Milan are still trying to sign Romelu Lukaku. So basically said Inter Milan are desperate to sign Romelu Lukaku and all that, but Romelu Lukaku's agent has said that his move is currently complicated at this present time. Obviously, based on the huge fee, that we put on Romelu Lukaku, because we've said, want around £80 million. Obviously, Inter Milan are trying to offload a couple of their players, to help them generate funds, to meet that £80 million valuation. I think it did confirm, was it yesterday, that Lukaku's agent, held negotiations with Inter Milan's officials and all that, discussing about Lukaku's possible switch from Old Trafford, to the San Siro and all that. So Lukaku's agent did say anyway that Lukaku wants to leave Manchester United, and he also said that he said Lukaku wants to leave Manchester United, and he did basically say that Inter Milan are still, of course, trying to sell him, but the fee is actually problematic for Inter Milan at this present time. Obviously, I think Inter Milan have inquired about getting Romelu Lukaku on a 2-year loan, with then the obligation to buy for £60 million at the end of the loan, but I don't think Manchester United will entertain this offer, because we're not willing to let Lukaku go on loan. We're only willing to let him go on a permanent deal and all that, and I think we are unwilling to accept any swap deals that Inter Milan have offered us as well, because obviously they've tried offering us Mario Icardi as part of the deal for Lukaku. They've also tried offering us Ivan Perisic as part of the deal for Romelu Lukaku. So we're only willing to let Lukaku go on a permanent deal. So basically, we're looking to recoup the money that we did pay for him from Everton back in 2017, because obviously we paid £75 million for him. Obviously there were several add-ons, including the deal of around £15 million, and this initially risen the deal up to around £90 million. Is our second most expensive signing. He's still got 3 years left on his contract with Manchester United and all that. But we do know Lukaku has been relentlessly linked with a move to Inter Milan. So Lukaku's agent is working very, very hard, to try and get Lukaku's move to Inter Milan completed. But it did reports reflected out last month about this story. You know, it allegedly said that Lukaku had agreed personal terms with Inter Milan. It also said he had agreed a deal with them worth around £180,000 a week. So I presume initially everything has been agreed except the fee. Obviously. Antonio Conte has identified, Romelu Lukaku as his number one target and all that. And obviously Lukaku is eager, to play under Antonio Conte's guidance, because probably Lukaku believes he'll flourish under Antonio Conte's guidance. And he recently described Antonio Conte as the best manager in the world. Obviously, reflecting back a couple of years ago, when Antonio Conte was the manager of Chelsea, he wanted Romelu Lukaku at that point, but obviously, he ended up making the move to Manchester United. But I think Manchester United have got to sell him, basically, because he's one of the problematic players at the club. He is now surplus to requirements at Manchester United. Obviously, he's been at Manchester United 2 years as Lukaku. He has been at Manchester United, 2 years. He scored 42 goals in 96 games in all competitions. He was exceptional in his first season with the club, but he didn't really replicate that in his second season, because since Jose Mourinho's departure and since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been recommended in, obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has preferred Rashford as his first choice ahead of Romelu Lukaku. So obviously, Lukaku, he's reluctant, to play up a backup role to Marcus Rashford and all that. But like I said, I've got strong reservations about Romelu Lukaku. But to be fair, I think his ratio is very, very good. He's got a good, his goal scoring pedigree is fantastic, and he's well Premier League proven, and he has done really, really well in the Premier League. But I think Manchester United, of course, have just got to currently offload Romelu Lukaku. So his transfer saga, to Inter Milan, does continue to persist. But hopefully, we can, currently offload him. If Lukaku does leave the football club, we've definitely got to get a replacement for him. But I was reading the Metro yesterday, and they were basically saying that was the Metro yesterday that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has identified Lyon's Moussa Dembele and Lille's Nicolas Pepe as potential replacements for Romelu Lukaku. And there was a lot of talks about Moussa and Dembele going on a while back and all that. There were a lot of talks about it going on a while back, saying that Manchester United were in for him. It said we allegedly offered around £40 million for his services. I think Moussa Dembele is around 22 years of age. Obviously, last season was his debut season in France with Lyon, and I think he did really, really well. He exceeded expectation levels, and he did demonstrate last season that he can score goals and that he can lead the lines and all that. Lyon did get him last summer from Celtic for around, £20 million. He signed a 5-year contract with Lyon, so he's under contract with them until 2023. Obviously, he's got 4 years now remaining on it. Like I said, only 22 years of age. Did have 2 good years in Scotland with Celtic, did really, really well. I think he also played for Fulham, did Moussa Dembele. At one point, I think he actually began his senior career with Fulham, so obviously we've identified him as a possible replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Like I said about Nicolas Pepe and all that, he's the obvious candidate for the right win for Manchester United, and I would be excited about the prospect of linking Nicolas Pepe up with the likes of Rashford and Martial and all that, because Nicolas Pepe is a really, really good player. He can score goals, he can provide, he's really, really good at creating chances. Like I said, he's the obvious candidate for the right win for Manchester United. But again, Nicolas Pepe has been subject to a hell of a lot of transfer speculation. So many teams have inquired about his services. I was reading the reports the other week, and it did say Inter Milan have stepped their interest up. They're set to put another offer in for him. It also said Atletico Madrid have been in for him. I think Arsenal have been in for him since January. Like I said, Liverpool, of course, have expressed their interest in Nicolas Pepe. Bayern Munich have been in for him because they're looking for a replacement for Frank Ribery and Arjen Robben. So, yeah, so many teams have been in there for Nicolas Pepe. We do know he's going to be leaving Lille. That's very, very imminent, because the Lille chairman had confirmed this about 6 weeks ago that he's going to be leaving Lille, but it still remains uncertain why he will be applying his trade next season and all that. But, this story came out from Duncan Castles a while back, and he said Manchester United and Liverpool are in for him, and he did say Man United and Liverpool had made initial contact with Lille over the possibility of signing Nicolas Pepe. But I really, really like him a lot. He's only 24 years of age. I think Lille do rate him at around £70 million, so this is what they probably want if they were willing to currently offload him. Like I said, he's been at Lille 2 seasons. He scored 37 goals in 79 appearances for Lille in all competitions, which is very, very impressive, and he's he's still got 3 years left on his contract with Lille, and so far he has spent the entirety of his career in France. But last season he was the revelation for Lille. He scored 22 goals and provided 11 assists and all that. But I think if he comes to the Premier League, Nicolas Pepe will rejuvenate his career. He'll take his footballing career to the next level, and I do believe he's definitely got all the attributes, to come and succeed in the Premier League. And that's if he makes a move to the Premier League, Nicolas Pepe. But I do really like him a lot. And like I said, Manchester United, of course, I've got to get a winger in, and that's very, very essential indeed. So Moussa Dembele and Nicolas Pepe, Solskjaer's identified them as possible replacements for Romelu Lukaku. But there has been quite a few players on our current agenda, who could replace Romelu Lukaku at the football club. There's been talks of Wissam Ben Yedder. There was a lot of talks about Wissam Ben Yedder, going on last week. It was circulating around the media last week saying that Manchester United were interested in him. But like I did say, Wissam Ben Yedder's move to Manchester United. He's probably dependent on what happens with Romelu Lukaku anyway. But I probably don't believe anywhere there's a lot of credibility in Wissam Ben Yedder, coming to Manchester United. Even though I think he's a really, really good player. His goal scoring pedigree is really, really good. He's Wissam Ben Yedder's. Obviously, he's highly experienced. He's 28 years of age, and allegedly said in his son, he favours a move to Old Trafford. He's been at Sevilla 3 years. Last season he was very, very impressive. I think he scored how many goals did he score last season? Was it 30, with about 30 goals and provided 11 assists in 54 games in all competitions for Sevilla last season. I think he's still got 2 years remaining on his contract with Sevilla and all that as Wissam Ben Yedder. I think also PSG have been interested, also Barcelona have been interested in Wissam Ben Yedder. But I probably don't believe there's a lot of credibility in him, coming to Manchester United. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, but I do believe he would, be a good adequate replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Yeah, so there's been quite a few players on our agenda, who could replace Romelu Lukaku at the football club. Like I did basically say, we've definitely got to get a central defender in. That's very, very essential indeed, because we have got issues defensively after that was proven last season, because last season we conceded 54 goals in the Premier League. 54 goals in the Premier League last season, so that just proves the issues we've got defensively, and we haven't had a world-class central defender since we had the likes of Vidic, and of course since we had the likes of Ferdinand. And like I said, there's been so many central defenders on our current agenda, but it was our priority to get a central defender last summer. But reflecting back last summer, the board weren't backing the signings that Jose Mourinho, of course, wanted to recommend to come in. I do believe now Koulibaly is out of the equation, because I think Napoli are reluctant to sell him, so I don't think he'll be coming to Manchester United. Obviously, Matty Stilit's now out of the equation, because obviously he's gone to Juventus. At one point, he was one of our main priority targets. Obviously, there was talks of Raphael Varane at one point, but I didn't believe there was a lot of credibility, in the stories about Raphael Varane, coming to Manchester United. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, so I was very, very sceptical about it. But yeah, there's been so many central defenders on our current agenda. Obviously, there has, been a lot of talks, about Harry Maguire going on from Leicester and all that. And I'm going to read a bit more reports up about him after this video. I may more additional information might have updated about him. But what I saw the other day, this was actually, coming out from Sky Sports and all that. They basically mentioned saying that Manchester United had put around £70 million bidding for Harry Maguire. So initially, we'd upped our offer. Obviously, this is insufficient for Leicester. This is why they turned this £70 million offer down, because I think Leicester have notified Manchester United they want at least around £90 million. But it is Manchester United and Manchester City that are battling out for his services. Sky Sports also mentioned that reportedly talks have been ongoing, between the both Manchester clubs and Leicester for several weeks and all that, but no deal or no fee or as yet, come to any kind of agreement and all that. But it is Manchester United and Manchester City that are battling out for his services. It did say towards the back end of last week, he said Manchester United had withdrawn their interest, because reportedly said Leicester wanted around £100 million. It said they wanted £90 million up front, with £10 million in add-ons and all that. So it did say Manchester United, of course, had withdrawn their interest. Obviously, a lot of reports came out last week, actually, or the other week, should I say. It said it looked as though Manchester City were in pole position to sign Harry Maguire, because it did say Manchester City were set to sign him for a world record fee of £18 million, which would obviously make him the most expensive defender in world football, ahead of Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk. and it also said City were willing to pay him a salary of £280,000 a week. But I think now we are in pole position to sign him according to recent reports, and we're confident we can beat Manchester City to the signing of him, reflecting on City's reluctance, because City are reluctant, to pay up to 80 or 90 million pounds for Harry Maguire. Maybe Manchester United, maybe willing to pay 80 or 90 million pounds for his services, even though I don't think he's worth it. I think 70 million pounds is probably reasonable in this transfer market at this day and age, but I'd say over the 70 million pound mark, they're basically not asking for too much and all that. But yeah, I like Harry Maguire a lot. He's a very, very good central defender. He is only 26 years of age, but he holds his line well. He shows that ability to play out from the back. He's very, very good in the air. His tenacity is really, really good. He's proven in the Premier League. So I think he would be the right solution for Manchester United, and I think he would blend in very, very well alongside Victor Lindelof in our back line. And I do really, really like Harry Maguire a lot. But yeah, Leicester, I think, have said, they want around £90 million for him, of course. But, Harry Maguire, has been relentlessly linked to a move to Old Trafford, since last summer. Because reflecting back last summer, Harry Maguire was one of the players that Mourinho wanted. But obviously, I think Leicester said they wanted around £70 million for him last summer. And of course, Manchester United were not willing to pay that. But looking at it, ultimately, Leicester don't want to sell Harry Maguire. And this is the main factor reason why, they've priced him out of the transfer market. And this is why, of course, they are demanding an extortionate amount. Because obviously, they don't want to currently sell him, because Leicester know how much of a central player he is. But I think Harry Maguire has confirmed, he wants to leave Leicester. And I think he did say from his own preference, Harry Maguire, he wants to make the move to Manchester City. Obviously, if he does go to Manchester City, obviously, he'll be playing alongside the likes of John Stones and Laporte and all that. Obviously, City are seeing him as a replacement for Vincent Kompany. I think also City are considering, offloading Otamendi and all that. But the fee is proving problematic for Man City, because they're not willing to pay what Leicester, of course, are currently demanding and all that. But like I said, Harry Maguire is, been at Leicester, 2 years. He's made 76 appearances in all competitions. He scored 69 goals for Leicester. Sorry, not 69 goals. 69 of his appearances, sorry, have come in the Premier League, but he has made 76 in all competitions. Obviously, Leicester got him from Hull City for around £17 million, back in 2017. And Harry Maguire signed only a new long-term contract last summer with Leicester, so he is under contract with them until 2023 and all that. So I do believe now Harry Maguire is one of our main priority targets. But hopefully, yeah, we can get a deal over the line for him. Like I updated you on my video yesterday, Arsenal came up. They were trying to, they tried to hijack our move for Harry Maguire. Allegedly said Arsenal had offered around £50 million for him. Obviously, obviously that's too insufficient. That's around 34 or 40 million. That's around 35 or 40 million pound less than what currently, Leicester are demanding. Because obviously Arsenal have got issues defensively, and Arsenal have got a tight budget this summer. They've only got around 40 or 45 million pounds to spend. So allegedly, so I do believe Arsenal, need to sell players, to help them generate funds and rebuild their squad and all that. But the problem is, we haven't got Champions League football to offer Harry Maguire. Arsenal haven't got Champions League football to offer Harry Maguire, but Manchester City have got Champions League football to offer Harry Maguire. But like I said, if we're willing to offer more than Manchester City, that means, we could get the deal fully concluded for Harry Maguire. And I really, really like him. Plus, he's British as well. Very, very good central defender. And I hope, somewhere along the line, he can come to Manchester United. And if we were to get, a deal over the line for him, it'd probably take our net spend up to around 150 or 160 million pounds or something like that. Obviously, as well, we've been winning for Issa Diop from West Ham. We've been in for Issa Diop at least for the last couple of weeks. There's been a lot of news circulating around the media, saying that Manchester United are in for him. I think ultimately West Ham don't want to sell him, but he did say West Ham would do business if we were willing to offer up to around £60 million. So West Ham do want at least £60 million. Some reports were speculating saying that West Ham wanted around £75 million and all that. But Issa Diop, probably would be a cheaper solution than Harry Maguire. Obviously, he would be a cheaper solution than Koulibaly from Napoli and all that. Issa Diop is proven in the Premier League, don't forget. Obviously, last season was his first season in the Premier League. He made 38 appearances in all competitions for West Ham last season. And West Ham did get him last summer from Toulouse for around £22 million. I think he's got 4 years remaining on his contract at West Ham. 22 years of age, like I said. Very, very tall. So I do presume he's very, very good in the air, and he's a very, very good athlete and all that. But he did say Manchester United were set to put our first formal offering for Issa Diop. Reports suggest out last month saying that we'd reportedly put around a £45 million bidding for him. Plus we offered Phil Jones as part of the deal, but reportedly West Ham had instantly turned this down and all that. Come out the other week saying allegedly West Ham wanted Anthony Martial in exchange for Issa Diop, but I do believe now he's one of our priority targets is Issa Diop, so it would be a cheaper solution than Harry Maguire. But I think Manchester United now are set to put around a £45 million bid in for him. So there has been so many central defenders on our current agenda, because we've got to get at least one in. The vast majority, some Manchester United fans have probably said, we need two central defenders and all that. But yeah, that's mainly everything to update today. So I wanted to give you the latest news, a bit more additional information about Dani Olmo from Dynamo Zagreb. Now, reportedly Manchester United have put a £35 million bid in for him and all that. He has been subject to a lot of transfer speculation. Quite a few teams have been in for him, reflecting on his impressive performances throughout the European Championship. But I think from Dani Olmo's preference is a move to the Premier League or a move to the Bundesliga. But so many teams, of course, have been in there for him. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do consider a subscriber to the channel, as always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.